One quiet evening, Ayan was sitting at his study table. His magical pen lay beside him, glowing softly, as if it had something new to share. Ayan picked it up and whispered, "Where will you take me today?" The pen began to sparkle, and in a flash of golden light, Ayan found himself standing inside a gigantic hall filled with ticking clocks of every size. Some were tall and old, with swinging pendulums. Others were tiny, glittering like stars. The sound of 1,000 ticks and talks filled the air. In the center stood a grand clock, taller than a tree, with shining silver hands. Suddenly, the clock's face opened like a door, and a kind old man with a long white beard stepped out. He wore a cloak decorated with numbers and stars. "Welcome, Ayan," the man said warmly. "I am the keeper of time. Only those with the magical pen can enter this place." Ayan's eyes widened. "But why am I here?" The keeper smiled. "Because time itself is in danger. Someone has stolen the missing second from the great clock. Without it, day and night will fall into confusion. You must help me bring it back." Before Ayan could reply, a strange noise echoed through the hall. Out of the shadows crawled a mischievous creature, half shadow, half smoke. It laughed wickedly and clutched a tiny glowing orb in its hand. "The missing second," Ayan whispered. The keeper nodded. "Yes, that shadow creature feeds on lost moments, time wasted, promises forgotten. To defeat it, you must use your magical pen." Ayan quickly pulled out the pen. With a swift stroke in the air, he drew a shining golden cage. The cage sprang to life and trapped the creature. But the shadow hissed and slipped through the bars like smoke. "Ayan!" "Hush!" He asked. "If it escapes every trap, maybe I can write what it fears most." He scribbled in the air, "Light stronger than shadows." Instantly, beams of radiant sunlight burst from his drawing. The creature shrieked and dropped the glowing orb, the missing second. It dissolved into nothingness, leaving only a faint whisper. "Time cannot catch me." Ayan picked up the orb and handed it to the keeper, who carefully placed it back into the great clock. The entire hall lit up with dazzling light, and the ticking grew steady and calm again. "You have saved time itself, Ayan," said the keeper. "Remember, every moment is precious. Do not waste it, for even 1 second can change the world." Before Ayan could answer, the golden light of the pen swirled around him. In the blink of an eye, he was back at his study table, the pen resting quietly in his hand. Ayan smiled. "Every moment matters," he whispered, already wondering where the pen would take him next. One day, Ayan was sitting in the garden, listening to the birds singing. His magical pen was in his pocket. As soon as he touched it, the pen began to glow. Ayan smiled and said, "Let's see where we go today." Suddenly, golden light surrounded him, and he found himself in a strange forest. The trees were not green, but blue and shining. The air was full of sweet fragrance, and there was a sound like tiny bells ringing. In the middle of the forest stood a very big tree. Its leaves were silver, and its fruits shone like stars. On the trunk of the tree, these words were written, "The tree of wishes. One wish will come true, but only for a pure heart." Ayan was surprised. Just then, a little fairy appeared. She was as clear as a drop of water. The fairy said, "Ayan, you are here to protect this tree. Many greedy people come to make selfish wishes. Tonight, an evil wizard is coming. You must stop him." Ayan nodded. "But I am just a boy. How can I stop him?" The fairy smiled. "You are not ordinary. You have the magical pen." At that moment, the ground shook. Out of black smoke came a tall, dark wizard. His eyes were red, and he held a black staff. He shouted, "This tree will be mine. I will control the whole world." Ayan quickly lifted his pen and drew a strong shield in the air. The wizard sent fire from his staff, but the shield stopped it. Then Ayan wrote, "Light of Truth." At once, a golden ray appeared and blinded the wizard. But the wizard laughed. "This cannot stop me." Ayan thought, "He wants power. I must write something stronger than power." So he wrote, "Love and kindness are the strongest of all. Suddenly, the shining fruits of the tree fell and turned into balls of light. One ball hit the wizard. He screamed, turned into smoke, and disappeared. The leaves of the tree sparkled, and the fairy clapped with joy. Ayan, you have saved the tree. Now it will grant you one wish. Choose carefully. Ayan thought for a moment and said, My wish is that all children in the world stay happy and never lose their dreams. The tree glowed brightly, and the fairy said, Your wish will come true. You truly have a pure heart. Then the golden light of the pen surrounded Ayan again, and in the blink of an eye, he was back in his garden. The birds were still singing, but his heart was filled with a special peace. Ayan looked at his pen and whispered, The real magic is in kindness. One day, Ayan was sitting by the window, watching the waves of the sea. Suddenly, his magical pen started to glow. Ayan whispered, Let's explore the world of water today. The pen spread golden light, and in a blink, Ayan found himself deep inside the blue ocean. To his surprise, he could breathe easily under the water. Around him swam colorful fish, some as tiny as pearls, and others as big as boats. Suddenly, a friendly dolphin swam toward him and said, Welcome, Ayan. I am Dolphy. You are here to protect a great secret. Ayan asked in surprise. What secret? Dolphy replied seriously. Deep in the sea lies a golden pearl. This pearl keeps the ocean world bright and alive. But a greedy octopus wants to steal it. We need your help. Ayan quickly pulled out his pen and said, Don't worry, we will protect it. Together they swam into a cave under the sea. Inside, a golden pearl was glowing brightly. Suddenly, darkness covered the cave. A huge octopus appeared, with long arms and red eyes. The pearl is mine, it roared. The octopus reached out to grab the pearl. Ayan quickly drew a strong net with his pen. But the octopus broke it angrily. Ayan thought, I cannot stop him with strength. I must try something else. So he wrote, Friendship and unity are the greatest power. At once, small and big fish, turtles and dolphins gathered together. They all surrounded the octopus. The octopus was alone and became afraid. Finally, it escaped back into the dark sea. Dolphy clapped with joy and said, Ayan, you saved the ocean. The pearl will stay safe now. Ayan smiled and said, The real power is not in being alone, but in standing together. The pen glowed once again, and in a blink, Ayan was back at his window. But this time, he could still hear the waves of the sea in his heart, as if he was still part of that magical world. One evening, Ayan was sitting on the roof, watching the stars. Suddenly, his magical pen began to glow. Ayan held it and said, Where will you take me today? The pen spread blue and golden light. In a blink, Ayan found himself above the clouds. To his surprise, the clouds were solid like land, and he could walk on them easily. Far away, he saw a shining castle. Its tall towers looked like the stars had come down from the sky. Ayan knocked on the huge door of the castle. Slowly, the door opened, and a beautiful talking bird came out. The bird said, Welcome, Ayan. This is the castle in the sky. Here lies the secret of the stars. But a storm giant wants to destroy the castle. He wishes to keep the sky dark forever. You must stop him. Ayan nodded seriously. I will try my best. Suddenly, the clouds rumbled loudly. A huge giant appeared, with eyes flashing like lightning. He leaned over the castle and roared, This castle will fall, and light will never return. Ayan quickly drew a big shield with his pen. The giant struck with lightning, but the shield blocked it. Ayan then wrote, Light defeats darkness. At once, bright starlight burst from the castle towers, pushing the giant back. But the giant laughed. This light will fade. I will destroy everything. Ayan took a deep breath and thought, I cannot stop him with strength. I must use hope. He wrote with his pen, Hope is the greatest power. Suddenly, tiny stars came from every corner of the sky. They circled around the castle and shone so brightly that the giant could not keep his eyes open. Finally, he disappeared into the clouds. The bird clapped with joy and said, Ayan, you have saved the castle. Now the sky will always remain bright. Ayan smiled and said, No matter how big the darkness is, even a little hope can remove it. The pen glowed again, And in a blink, Ayan was back on his roof. The stars above were shining brighter than ever, as if they were saluting him.